Hi, this is Ruby Wax, and each week I'll be doing a section called Ask Ruby, where I'll answer your questions that you've tweeted in. By the way, I'm in Scotland, and here, can you see the heather? All right, that was a bad accent. I'm in Scotland, so I can still answer your questions from here. Okay, the first question is, what is the most misconceived um, thing about depression? Okay, well, the most misconceived thing about depression is that it has nothing to do with the word depression, because depression that kind of indicates that you're sad or maybe you're having a bad hair day, whereas real depression is when you're in a kind of walking coma. It's as if somebody opened a little hole and poured cement into your head. Uh, you're over and out. There's nobody left. You have the eyes of a dead animal. No question, nothing to do with being upset. So, bad word, we must change it from depression. So, that's a misconception that it has to do with crying or mourning. Those are all, they come with the human package. But depression is, well, it's as physical as having diabetes. And another misconception is when they say, is it only happen to creative people? And I say, read my lips, 1 in 4 misses somebody somewhere in India is not necessarily a creative artist. It's 1 in 4. That means people don't get it in their heads. For example, it has nothing to do with what I do for a living because my insides don't really know what my outside is doing. I just happen to score on getting depression. So that's a misconception. Next question. Um, how much longer is the stigma going to go on? Well, the only people that are going to end the stigma is us. And, I always say, well, in my lifetime, gays uh, started from hunkering in their homes and afraid to say that they were gay. And now look at them. I mean, they're everywhere. They're in politics, they're in the army, they're still doing my hair, they're everywhere. So my point is, how did they do it in such a short time? Because there was a time you couldn't say you were gay, and then, well, a long time ago, you couldn't even say you were a witch. But what did they do? I don't know. I mean, I remember the marches that they put on their stilettos, and they waved their rainbow banners. So I'm thinking, well, maybe we could do that. And they must have them locked up somewhere. That we get on, the halls, we do the face and wear the colored wig, and we march to Parliament, and then we demand that there should be no discrepancy when we go for a job, or that our lives are going to be will be ostracized in any way. The same as, let us learn from our gay brothers, and you know we'll meet in Hart Park one day. I'll call all of you, and it'll be a call to arms, and then we'll just march. So that's when the stigma will end, not when we're all at home too ashamed to even show up anywhere. So that's that question. The other question is what is the happiest time of my life, and do I think about it when I'm low? Uh, I think about happy times, but the happiest time was when I got onto TED Talks. But then a second later, I thought they made a mistake, and then I would completely screw up, and then I'd be caught for being an idiot. I think it's healthy that I don't think too much when I do something that makes me narcissistic or overexcited, because 2 minutes later I'll be kicked in the ass by karma. I mean, every time I felt full of myself, or just a slight, bit of puffed air, the next second there's a B-52 that bombs me down. So I like to just keep it neutral. But I do remember happy times, but mostly not. Okay, the other question is hormonal changes. Do hormones affect depression? Well, hormones affect everything, everything. We are only what our hormones are, and a couple of neurons and genes, and of course our parents and culture. But mostly the way we are, the reason we are the way we are is because of hormones. So if you plummet into depression, well, a chemical that's known to drive you there would be too much cortisol, which is the kind of toxic chemical of the stress chemical. If you get too much of that, chances are you'll burn out. So yeah, it's hormones. I can't tell you the name of them specifically beside cortisol, but just trust me on it, it's hormones. Okay, um, so that was Ask Ruby this week. I hope you write them in again, and then I can answer those questions. I won't be in Scotland, but God knows I'll be somewhere. So thanks very much for listening. Okay, bye bye. I gotta turn.